Depression can feel like wearing grey-tinted glasses. The world appears dull, hope feels distant. This is a common experience for millions. But what if this bleak outlook held a surprising truth? This is the heart of depressive realism. Depressive realism suggests that people with depression may have a more accurate perception of reality. It's a paradox. We often associate depression with negative thinking, yet studies suggest it can lead to more realistic judgments in certain situations. This challenges our understanding of mental health and perception. Imagine a world where everyone sees through rose-colored glasses. They overestimate their abilities and chances of success. Now picture someone with depression. They see the world without those rose-colored glasses. They see the good, the bad, and the ugly. This clearer view can be both a blessing and a curse. This essay explores the complex world of depressive realism. We'll delve into the research, personal stories, and the impact on everyday life. Join me as we try to understand this intriguing paradox. The human mind seeks control. We like to believe we can influence outcomes, but life is full of uncertainty. Depressed individuals, often due to past experiences, may be more likely to acknowledge this lack of control. This acceptance of uncertainty can lead to more realistic judgments. They might be less likely to fall prey to illusions of control. This means they assess situations with a more objective lens. Imagine a game of chance. A non-depressed person might feel overly confident, believing they can beat the odds. A depressed person might see the game for what it is, a game of chance. They might be less likely to gamble on unrealistic hopes. This isn't to say that depression makes you a fortune teller. It simply means that the absence of rose-tinted optimism can sometimes lead to more accurate predictions. This is the crux of the paradox. Seeing the world without illusions can be both depressing and insightful. The concept of depressive realism gained traction in the 1970s. Psychologist Lauren Alloy and her colleagues conducted groundbreaking research. One experiment involved participants trying to control a green light. Depressed individuals were more accurate in judging their level of control over the light. Non-depressed individuals often overestimated their influence. This suggested a link between depression and realistic perception. Further studies have explored this phenomenon in various contexts. From social interactions to personal achievements, the findings often point to a similar trend. Depressed individuals, in some cases, exhibit a more realistic appraisal of situations. However, it's crucial to note that depressive realism is not a universal phenomenon. Not everyone with depression experiences it. And it's not a constant state. It's a nuanced concept that requires careful consideration. Imagine being offered two job opportunities. One is a high-paying, high-stress job with a demanding boss. The other is a lower-paying, less stressful job with a supportive environment. A person with depressive realism might be more drawn to the latter. They might be less swayed by the allure of a high salary. Their realistic outlook might lead them to prioritize well-being and work-life balance. This pragmatic approach can be beneficial in some situations. It can lead to more informed and balanced decisions. However, it can also lead to missed opportunities or a sense of resignation. The key takeaway is that depressive realism is not inherently good or bad. It's about seeing the world through a different lens. This lens can shape our decisions, often in surprising ways. Section 5. A personal touch: depressive realism in everyday life. I've seen firsthand how depressive realism can manifest in everyday life. A close friend of mine, battling depression, often surprises me with her insights. Once we were discussing a mutual friend's new business venture. I was excited for her, picturing grand success. My friend, however, was cautiously optimistic. She pointed out potential challenges and the high failure rate of startups. At first I felt deflated by her pragmatism, but as time passed I realized she wasn't being negative. She was being realistic. Her insights, though tinged with sadness, were grounded in a clear-eyed view of the world. This experience taught me that depressive realism is not about pessimism. It's about seeing the world without rose-tinted glasses. It's about acknowledging both the beauty and the harsh realities of life. Section 6. The illusion of control: depressive realism and the illusion of control. The illusion of control is a cognitive bias where we overestimate our influence over events. We see patterns where there are none. We believe we can control outcomes that are largely determined by chance. Depressive realism can shatter this illusion. It can make us acutely aware of the limits of our control. While this can be disheartening, it can also be liberating. Imagine a student studying for an exam. A non-depressed student might believe that if they study hard enough, they are guaranteed a good grade. A student with depressive realism might acknowledge that external factors, like the difficulty of the exam or their own anxiety, can also play a role. This acceptance of uncertainty can lead to a healthier approach to success and failure. It can help us focus on what we can control, our effort, preparation, and attitude, while accepting that outcomes are not always in our hands. Section 7. The positive side of the coin. Can depressive realism be beneficial? While often portrayed negatively, depressive realism can offer unique advantages. For instance, it can foster greater empathy and understanding towards others' struggles. When we acknowledge the harsh realities of life, we become more attuned to the suffering of others. We are less likely to judge or dismiss their experiences. This can foster deeper connections and a greater sense of compassion. Moreover, depressive realism can fuel creativity and problem-solving. By acknowledging limitations and challenges, we can devise more effective solutions. Artists and innovators often tap into their darker emotions to create works that resonate deeply with others. It's crucial to remember that depression is a complex condition that requires professional help. However, understanding the potential benefits of depressive realism can help us approach it with greater nuance and compassion. Section 8. Navigating the paradox. Finding balance in depressive realism. Living with depressive realism is like walking a tightrope. On one hand, you have the clarity to see the world without illusions. On the other, you risk being bogged down by negativity. So how do you find balance? The key is to acknowledge the insights depressive realism offers without letting it consume you. It's about recognizing negative thought patterns and challenging their validity. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, can be incredibly helpful in this regard. It teaches you to identify and challenge negative thoughts. It equips you with coping mechanisms to manage difficult emotions. Remember, depressive realism doesn't have to be a life sentence of gloom. It's about finding ways to use your unique perspective to navigate the world authentically and compassionately. Section 9. Seeking support. Recognizing when realism becomes overwhelming. While depressive realism can offer valuable insights, it's crucial to recognize when it becomes overwhelming. If you find yourself constantly dwelling on negative aspects of life, it's essential to seek professional help. Depression is a serious mental health condition that requires treatment. A therapist can provide you with the tools and support you need to manage your condition. Remember, you don't have to go through this alone. Reach out to a trusted friend, family member, or mental health professional. There is no shame in asking for help. Section 10. The road to recovery. Challenging negative thought patterns. Recovering from depression and managing depressive realism is an ongoing journey. It's about learning to challenge negative thought patterns and replacing them with more balanced perspectives. One effective strategy is to practice gratitude. Take time each day to appreciate the good things in your life. No matter how small, these positive affirmations can shift your focus away from negativity. Another helpful technique is mindfulness meditation. This practice involves focusing on the present moment without judgment. It can help you observe your thoughts and emotions without getting swept away by them. Remember, recovery is not about erasing depressive realism entirely. It's about finding a way to integrate it into your life in a healthy and empowering way. Section 11. Conclusion. Embracing hope while acknowledging reality. Depressive realism presents a fascinating paradox. A glimpse into a world without illusions, often at the cost of joy. It challenges our understanding of mental health and perception. While it's essential to acknowledge the potential benefits of depressive realism, increased empathy, realistic decision-making, it's crucial to remember that depression is a serious condition that requires professional help. The journey of managing depressive realism is about finding balance. It's about acknowledging the insights it offers without letting negativity consume you. It's about embracing hope while acknowledging the complexities of life. If you or someone you know is struggling with depression, please reach out for help. There is strength in vulnerability, and recovery is possible.